Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Drawing with Daniel. And I'm your host, Daniel Marler, and we're going to be drawing together today. And it is early April, and this coming Sunday is the Easter holiday. So I thought it would be fitting to draw a bunny today. So we're going to draw a rabbit, an Easter rabbit, if you might. So we're not going to waste a lot of time talking. We're going to get right on to the drawing. I'm going to use my fairly inexpensive sketch paper. Sketch paper comes in a big tablet like this, 100 sheets, fairly inexpensive. The weight of the paper is right here, 60 pound. The lower number on the weight means it's a lighter weight paper. It's an okay paper for sketching. It's not high quality paper, which would cost a lot more money, but it's great for sketching and it will serve our purposes just fine for this demonstration. So that's what we're using to draw on. We're going to use a regular, you can use your regular number 2 yellow school pencil if you want. I'm going to use this 3B pencil because it's a very soft lead, which means it'll be very dark. Will show up better for you guys. Normally I would sketch with a lighter pencil strokes, but I'm using the darker pencils to show up for you guys on the video. You can use any kind of pencil you want. Number 2 yellow school pencil will be just fine. Use whatever kind of paper you want. Remember, you use what you have available to you. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing. Your drawing doesn't have to look exactly like mine. You can color it differently. You make it unique to you because you're a unique person. All right. If you recall, in some of my other videos, if you watch them, like drawing an elephant, drawing a horse, we use very basic shapes. So that's what we're going to be doing again today. We're going to use a lot of circles and ovals to make our bunny rabbit. All right, so let's get started. First thing we want to do is make a nice big circle. Big circle. Here we go. This big circle doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Although if you have a compass at home, you can make a perfect circle if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be though. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a drawing, not a photograph. Okay, so there is my circle. This is going to be the bunny's body. We're going to look at this bunny. He's going to be facing us forward. This will be his tummy. Now we're going to draw another circle right on top of that circle. This will be his head. It'll be a big circle as well, but a little smaller than our first, just a little bit smaller than the first circle. You're going to stack it right on top of that first circle. Kind of think of like when you build a snowman out in the snow. It's going to intersect, intersect. Those lines are intersecting, interlocking, whatever you want to call it. So it's a big circle too, but it's slightly smaller than your first circle. It's right on top. Look, there's the body, there's the head. There we go. Can you see that okay? All right. Now what we're going to do is use some ovals. What do rabbits have? They have very large, very long ears. So let's make a nice oval shape right there. It's going to interlock or intersect with that top circle. Body, head, oval ear, oval ear. Notice how the lines are intersecting. We will erase those extra lines later. Now let's draw a smaller oval inside of those ovals. Here we go. There's a smaller one. There's a smaller one. Starting to look a little bit like rabbit ears, you think? Okay, right on top of the head. Okay, now we need 2 small circles for the eyes. Eyes are going to be, if we're going to divide this head up 1, 2 thirds into thirds, there's 1/3, there's 2/3, 3. They're going to intersect right that line right there. 2 little ovals. You can make them smaller than that. You can make them bigger than that. That's up to you. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. You can have them closer together if you want. I wouldn't probably draw them any further apart than what I did, but that's up to you. Now let's make it, we're going to work from top to bottom. So let's, what comes after the eyes? What's below your eyes? Your nose. We're going to use another basic shape we've used a lot. A triangle, upside down triangle. There we go. We got our two eyes. Right below that is our upside down triangle or nose. Let's go down to the body and let's add the front arms or legs. We need two more ovals. We'll put one right about there. We'll put one about right there. There you go. That's his front legs or arms. Two ovals. They're pretty similar in size, and they're not exactly the exact same size, but they're pretty close. Just put them on the top 1/3 of that bottom circle. That's his front legs and paw, or arms if you want to call it. Now I'm going to do another oval just below that that's just slightly bigger. Slightly bigger than those. See how this oval right here is slightly bigger than this oval, but it's right below those. That's part of his back leg. Now I want even a bigger, almost an egg shape. Easter egg shape. Yay! It's an oval, kind of Easter. When I say egg shape, it's a slightly wider here and a little more narrow down here. Like, look at an egg. Next time your mom's cooking eggs, look at those eggs. Egg shape, egg shape. Notice how all my lines are intersecting or interlocking. Now I need some circles for his little paw pads. Try to make them nice and round. The rounder they are, the cuter they'll look. All right. See the little circles? There's a big circle, three little circles. Big circle, three little circles. You see that okay? Three little circles, one big circle inside of our egg oval shape. It's almost done, isn't it? What are we missing? The mouth. Let's draw a little curve there. There we go. Now, you don't have to draw right along with me. Watch this video once all the way through, then go back and watch it again as you stop. You can stop and start the video and draw yours. Yours doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Draw it the way you want. There's his big buck teeth that we can chew on stuff. You could put a little line right down the center, I suppose. What else is he missing? He's missing his whiskers. I would put at least two on each side. At least two on each side. You could put 3 or 4. How many you want? Make them different lengths too. Notice my whiskers aren't all the same length. So the rabbit's pretty much done, but I need to erase all those extra lines. So I got all kinds of different kinds of erasers. You can use the eraser on the end of your yellow number 2 pencil if you want. Whatever eraser you have available. Let me use this one right here. I'm going to get rid of that line. Get rid of that line I drew through the eyes. Get rid of that. I don't need all these extra lines. And if you erase something you didn't mean to, that's okay. Don't get upset about it. You can fix that. I just erased part of his teeth. I'll just go back and draw those teeth back in. See how much cleaner it looks though now? I got rid of some of those lines. Normally this would be easier for me to erase because normally I wouldn't have it so dark. Remember, I used a darker pencil than what I normally would if I was sketching on my own because I wanted you to be able to see it. All right, erase, erase. Get rid of all those little eraser shavings with your hand or what. I have a little artist brush there I'm using. Now I'm going to go back, put in those lines that I erased that I still needed. I just added these little lines here too. This is little front little finger paws. See how I erased all those extra lines in there? You see how I did that? I don't need all those. I probably don't even need some of this right here either. I'm going to erase some of that. I'm going to erase some of that too. All right. See how I left some open space right here, right here. I left this open space right here and right here. See how he's sitting and he's looking at you? What do you think? This is a pretty cute little bunny rabbit. All right, so here it is done. If I went back over this with a magic marker, so you don't have to do that. You could use your crayolas. I'm going to use those in a minute. It'll stand out a lot more. So here was our drawing step by step using pencils and basic shapes. There I went. I did the same thing again, but I used a marker so it would show up. I used some colored pencil, put a little pink in his paws to make it cute. Pink nose, pink inside the ears, a little bit of gray around there. I even used a little bit of light blue in the teeth. And there's my rabbit, my bunny rabbit. It's a bunny rabbit, or Easter rabbit, whatever you want to call it. You color whatever color you desire. It can be a purple rabbit. It can be a blue rabbit, a gray rabbit, black and white rabbit. Whatever color you want, it's your rabbit. It don't have to be exactly like mine. But what can we do with this rabbit? And you know what? I haven't given you any rabbit facts yet. So let me tell you a few things about rabbits. A female rabbit is called a doe, and a male rabbit is called a buck. And a child rabbit is called a kit or a kitten. So female rabbit doe, male rabbit buck, child rabbit is a kitten. And they live in groups. They live underground in tunnels called warrens. And more than half of the world's rabbits, guess where they live? In North America. And those rabbit ears that are so long, these ears can grow up to 10 centimeters in length. So that's pretty long. They can grow up to 10 centimeters in length. And their head can turn 180 degrees so they can keep an eye out for something that's trying to catch them or eat them. And just like our elephants that I talked about, they are herbivores. Do you remember what herbivores are? They are animals that eat plant materials. So they're herbivores. Okay, so here's something that we can do. We started out with this. We got this. And now I can add something else to it. What holiday did I say was coming up? Do you remember? Easter. So I'm just going to sketch out something real quick to add to this. You just watch as I'm drawing. I'll tell you something else about rabbits that they have in common with cats, other than the babies. The small young ones are called kits. They also, like cats, when they are content, you know what that means? Content means happy or relaxed. They purr. If you have a cat or been around a cat, when they're all relaxed and comfortable and you're petting them and they're feeling good about it, they purr. They make that little purring noise. Rabbits do the same thing. Do you know what I'm going to draw? I bet you can figure it out. What holiday is coming up, I said? That's right. This is my Easter basket. All right, it's not perfect, but it'll work. It's made out of wicker. So we gotta give it like a little pattern here. All right. Rabbits on average live about 10 years. That's another rabbit fact for you. And they are amazing athletes. If you think about it, those big, strong back legs of theirs, they can jump up to 90 centimeters high in the air. Isn't that crazy? For such a small animal, they can do that to get away from things that are trying to get them. Okay, I got some grass in my basket. It's a wicker basket. You want to get a close look at that? You draw a basket behind yours too. It doesn't have to look like mine. Just draw a simple little basket. And what are we going to put in our Easter basket? Well, Easter eggs, obviously. And they're going to be painted different patterns and colors. All right. Let's put a little shadow back there. Let's put a little shadow underneath him so he looks more three-dimensional. All right, what do you guys think? We got a rabbit, a little shadow there, basket, wicker basket, some grass in there, Easter eggs. We can, I got some crayolas here. Here's my crayola set. So I'm going to use some crayons. I'm sure you guys got crayons too. I'm going to color it real quick. There's a little bit of grass in there. I got different colored green. All right, and I got some different colored browns that I'm going to use to color my basket. I think I'll put some yellow on the basket as well. Notice how I'm using the side of the Crayola. I'm not pressing down so hard where I'm going to break my Crayola. I'm putting different pressure amounts. When I want it to be darker, I'm pressing a little harder. And when I want the color to be a little lighter, I let up on it and use more gentle strokes. Why would I want it to be darker in some areas and lighter than the other areas? Well, because that's where the light's going to hit it. Now I'm going to put some yellow on there. I'm going to just mix it right in there. Mix it right in. Blend it, blend it, blend it. How's that looking so far? See how I made the brown darker right here and back in here? Because this rabbit sitting in front of it, there's going to be a shadow behind him. So it's going to be a little darker right there. Not as much light is hitting that surface area. So it's going to be a little darker. It's as simple as that. So more pressure, darker, lesser pressure, lighter. I'm going to use 2 or 3 different kinds of brown in here. You can use one color right on top of another, blend them to create a new color. What do you think? See how I blended? I have 2 different kinds of browns in there. I have yellow in there, and they're kind of blended together. I think I want this to be a little bit darker right behind the rabbit, so I'm going to go back to my darker brown. There, see how it's a little more like a shadow, so it looks more three-dimensional. There's more shape to it. Now you can go in there and color your Easter eggs, and that's where you can get really creative. Whatever color you want them to be. Okay, so I'm not going to finish coloring that. You can put a message on there. You can put Happy Easter or I love you, Mom and Dad. Or, if you have grandparents, they would love to have this. If you put I love you, Grandma and Grandpa, Happy Easter message. There's lots of room there for you to write. Put your name down here and your age. Tommy, age 7 or whatever. Color all those Easter eggs nice bright colors. Let's do a little bonus drawing for you guys. I'm going to draw probably one of the most famous rabbits ever, if I can find some more paper. See if you recognize, other than the Easter Bunny, this might be the most famous rabbit ever. I'm just going to do it real quick. I haven't drawn him in a long time, so we'll see how good of a job I can do. I'm going to use this marker so it stands out, but I might make more mistakes since I can't erase. Have you figured out who this famous rabbit is yet? This rabbit came on the scene in the late 1930s. His official debut debut film, his premiere film, was in 1941. You know who it is yet? I bet you already figured it out. Every kid knows this rabbit. Did you figure out who that is yet? You need to see that closer? What rabbit is that? You know what rabbit that is. That is, you know, his accent, the way he talked, it was a Brooklyn accent. Brooklyn is in New York. Of course you know who that is. That's Bugs Bunny. So there you go. Bugs Bunny. He would be gray, a little bit of pink, and some white. Bugs Bunny. It first aired in a movie called A Wild Hare, along with Elmer Fudd. That was in 1940. That's almost as old as I am. Oh my goodness. No, I'm just kidding. So we got our famous Easter Bunny with Easter basket. You guys do that. And our Bugs Bunny. I will probably attach a document at some point with a black and white printout of this. So if you wanted to just print it out, you could color it like a coloring book. Or you could put your piece of paper on top of it and trace right over the top of it if you wanted to. Or you could use it to look off of it. So I will eventually attach that in document form. But remember, we just used our basic shapes just like we've always been doing. Circles, lots of circles and ovals, pencils. Went back and erased some of those extra pencil lines. I used a marker. You don't have to do that. You can use a crayola crown. You can use colored pencils. Whatever you want to do. Then I went back and colored it. Colored yours different than mine. Make it unique. Put an Easter message on there for your mom or your dad or your grandma, grandpa, a friend, or maybe someone at the nursing home would love to have something like that from you. Okay, so I hope you guys had fun. We did an Easter Bunny. Look for those documents that I will attach later at some point. Keep practicing, keep drawing. Don't get frustrated. Have a lot of fun with this. I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Getty's first grade class. I know you guys. I've drawn lots of pictures for you guys. So Mrs. Getty's first grade class out of Shady Oaks Elementary. I want you guys to draw some Easter rabbits and some Easter eggs. And I look forward to possibly seeing those. Mrs. Getty's will probably share those with me later. All right. You guys have a great time drawing. Have fun. Thanks for joining me. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.